Welcome in, everybody watching the VOD. I appreciate it. Everybody checking out the clips. I'm Ayinar, and this is SFX Creation Station Episode 3. Now, what I'm doing, or what I've been doing, is I recorded a bunch of sounds. Well, I say recorded a bunch of sounds. Recorded everything from clicks on a comb to me banging on a Yeti, like the Yeti thermos. And then I also have a whisk that I dragged across a pizza pan. Now the pizza pan had like a whole bunch of bumps on it, which is why gave me the idea to anyways. So that's what I've been playing with on that. And as you can see up here, I have it to where it says needs editing over to the right hand side. So with that being said, I got the left hand side done, gonna work a little bit more on the right hand side, and I hope everybody enjoys, and I hope everybody's been doing well. All right. If you have any questions as well, just feel free to hit me up in the chat. It's still kind of hot. All right. So I was thinking earlier, I know I messed around with this Nerf gun already. With these though, something I was thinking about doing. Let's see. That's what it was. I was waiting on that time crunch extender like it had a loading time. All right. Anyways. So this so it's interesting. The time shift already makes it like gives it to me like those funny frequencies. I call them the kind of like alien sounding frequencies, or the wow wow, the wobbles. Let's see how it sounds though even more. Take these. Excuse me. Whoa. Just recently got this little tiny mouse. I originally had like this gaming mouse, but it I didn't like the scroll. It kept messing with things. Like it would overly scroll or just mess with a lot. It's like, I'm gonna give me a different type of mouse. However, I still like the Max keypad or the Max pad. Max pad. Boom. Look at that. There's like enough for each one. Oh. So. instead of, let me test it first, make sure. Well, yeah, I guess. I was gonna say instead of like time stretching them all individually, you can do it while they're still kind of all together and, you know, consolidated into one, or you can take all of them, select them, and then hit shift option 3 to consolidate them that way to make them one full, whoa, oops, one full clip. So this one though, let me see. Oh yeah. So that one, I forgot it. Well, yeah, time shifted that one. Didn't do those. So what I could do is that. So Command Z on Pro Tools, don't spam it too fast. But if you go at it like a decent, you know, pace, it'll allow you to basically keep going roughly. Then shift option 3 again. So now I have the regular sounding Nerf gun that I could play with up here. Well, duplicate. What is that? Never played with that. Mm. Down here, that time compression expansion, that's what the TCE over on the time crunch thing that I keep doing over here on the left hand side, switching it so that way I can stretch them out. I kept calling it time crunch, time compression expansion, because you can compress or expand. Oh, hey, I apologize. I'm doing well. How are you doing? That's good. That's good. Yeah, right now, so what I'm basically doing is I recorded a bunch of sound, or what, like a bunch of items. I was just around the house. I wanted to see what they sounded like. And because sound design in school kind of interested me. And that's what led to me kind of like doing this little episode series. But roughly what I've been doing with the Nerf gun is I stretched it out so this top one, you know, yeah, yeah, like because in school I learned a lot and did a lot of different types of projects, I guess you could say, within the industry. However, I really liked using Pro Tools for a lot of the projects because this audio suite that I'm messing around with now. Yeah. So like music production, I because I can also make beats, instrumentals. I can do cues. Well, different yeah, different styles of cues. There's still a bunch more I would like to kind of dabble around with once just playing around. However, I really like doing the horror style type cues, and what cues are is basically like scoring a piece of music to like the film roughly. So, and when I say horror style, I mean like scary movies, and you create the piece and the tension and the build and whatnot. Yeah, yeah, it's really fun. And see, Wednesday night, what I did, so like I don't just do this stuff in the music or like music production stuff. So Wednesday night, I decided to do something called a pen and pad session because I'm also a rapper. And with that, I it was my first time doing it, so I made it, like session one, and basically had my writing process to an instrumental I created that I streamed like one of the first of the week. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I know I can write to this, like I don't even care if nobody else can. I know I can. So yeah. Do you do anything, musically or let me get this. Oh, I would love to get an accordion one day. I'm not gonna lie. Bass is awesome though. I really like when because I grew up on like punk rock and stuff like that, which is funny because like I'm a rap, but I grew up on like screamo and punk rock and stuff. But I really like enjoy when the bass comes in and be like dun 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 dun, doing eighth notes like that. Yeah, with the accordion, reason why I want one though is because a long time ago I wrote a rap, and one of the I was trying to think of something to rhyme with according to them, and accordion popped in my head, and I was like, they're playing, or according to them, they think they can play me like an accordion, something like. And so I was like, bet, dude. Like, so I'm gonna like bend that word that way, and like that's something. Just yeah, I love it. Especially what really like helped anchor that in was just sitting there because I don't like to look up on Rhyme Zone or anything like that unless I absolutely have to. I much prefer to like read up on a subject more versus like trying to look up words that like rhyme with it and stuff. And that's what led me to kind of getting better at bending words with multiple words and kind of created my own sort of my own mesh of vocabulary style. Yeah, for sure. I was looking back there because like a lot of my raps lately have been like about introspection and like the journey and evolution of self in a fun way, but well, not but like, and I throw in like alien terminology just because like it's fun. I want to bring creativity and imagination back into like my style. So, and anyways, it led to me like buying a whole bunch of books, and one of them I got was like the Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. And so like doing that, incorporating that with like my workflow has been very, very beneficial, like mentally, you know. However, I'm gonna get back to because right here what I did, well, the rendering. So I slowed it down. That's like it's normal. Well, I don't want to say that's the normal because that'd be like right there's the normal. Process it down, like basically slow it down, and then you can adjust the pitch even more than doing the time crunch or time compression expansion. Keep wanting to say time crunch because that's what I've called it for so long because it was like TCE over in the top left hand corner here. So you mentioned harmonica too. I saw a video the other day. I've always enjoyed harmonicas. Like when I was little, I like had one. Didn't learn how to play it at all though. I was just a kid. Didn't have no one to teach me or even like at the time like access to anyone who knew how to play a harmonica. They just sold them at the store in my town, roughly. But yeah, I've always thought harmonicas would be, personally, I think it would be difficult but interesting to put into an instrumental beat. I would have to learn how to play it a lot better though. Let's see this. Excuse me. Let's see here. Now, so I know you mentioned that you play bass as well. I would have to go into my folders to check it out, but I was playing around with a while back. I had someone trying to hit me up, but they were secretly trying to scam me out of some beats. However, water under the bridge. They wanted a trap beat and something with the guitar, and I was like, okay. So I didn't even know how to like at the time approach that because one, I had yet to make my own like trap style beat, and then two, like I always enjoy trap, especially like I enjoyed Black Bear when back in the day, especially like the style of like instrumental. Yeah, yeah, it's part of it. Like I'm a lot of times I'll get people hit me up or like especially being an like the independent artist side of social media, I'll all the time get people hit me up like, hey, you want promo? Like it'll be organic and all this and that, and it's like, I mean, I'm gonna stick to the actual like promotion within the softwares. Thank you though. Like at least until I could find someone I could trust, like to be a well, I guess it would be an influencer for me, or like someone to use my music and videos and whatnot. However, for now, I do them in my own videos, and But with it though, like it ended up, so at first it was a basic guitar trap style beat. And I was like, okay, well, it sounds kind of cool. And then I took a break because like I was kind of like, frustrated a little bit that they were, like I put in that work, and then they were like, they turned around and they were like, "You're not done with those beats yet?" And I'm like, "Oh man." Like I was like, "You wanted custom beats. Like I'm gonna put everything into making it custom, yo." Like I was gonna hook them up and everything. Yeah, so what I did was I was like, "You know what?" I was like, "I'm gonna turn around and use all three of them beats for myself." So I polished up a little bit one of them, which is my track Within the Void. It was going to be the third beat because they ended up like they chose two and they're like, make the third, like third one something similar to whatever. So my track Within the Void was actually that one, and it's kind of like an atmospheric spacey type, but like the flow like starts slow and then it picks up again and then it picks up like, and I rap on the verse, and so I killed that one. However, this like guitar one though, I was like I wanted to do something different. So what I turned around and did was I went back to like listening to screamo music for a little bit, and I was like trying to focus in on the guitars and like certain sections. And so I was like, you know what, like it's because I knew it was missing something. Something in my chest was saying it was missing something. And it was like an extra layer of guitar with distortion and an octave up, type situation. So I put it up in there and I'm like, oh yes, like it felt complete. And then I have like a bass section in it though, however. So that's something I'll probably end up working on it. I could work on it tomorrow night and during stream. And if you, stop back by, like you could probably give me your bass opinion because I myself do not know how to play an instrument. Like I have a MIDI keyboard and I can play, what I need. Yeah, yeah, I was gonna give him the I was gonna make sure it was like within levels, everything. And because it was like technically it would have been my first custom beat customer. And so I was, gonna show appreciation that way. And however though, like I said, they did their thing. And so I turned around and turned a bad situation into something good and kind of worked from there. Okay. I want to find a way to make this like sometimes these guitar rigs they make it super loud, so I don't want to blow out my ears. Oh wait, I don't think I messed with this though. No, it has the pedals. Hmm. Yeah. See, I was thinking too if I could give it like a stoop, stoop, stoop type of noise. Yeah. What I'll do is I'm gonna check that out. Wait, do I have a? No, I don't have a reverb. Okay, so do you mess around with any? Yeah, kind of like a pulse. I was thinking kind of like an alien pulse, but with a thoop. Now, like, have you ever played with Pro Tools or any DAWs? Oh well, yeah, pedals. That yeah, I don't doubt that, man. I see like I loved looking at when I come across people in their custom pedal boards. Like people come up with some crazy style pedal boards and different designs for all of that. I was blown away by the engineering, just the way they. Oh, that's about it. Well, I was gonna say, so like something else I enjoy doing is I know Pro Tools is can be intimidating and a difficult software. So if I'm doing something, I'm gonna like roughly say the quick keys so that way out loud, that way it helps anybody watching if they're trying to by chance learn Pro Tools. Whoa. See, I like a good kind of like you know the warm, fuzzy, yet kind of like a light thin bass, kind of like with a lo-fi feel. That's the I enjoy those type of fuzzes and distortions, like especially I'm a big lo-fi fan as well. Well, I wouldn't say like just because I've heard some like basses. I guess it would be in the EQing where they cut out a good like section of the low end and make it kind of like a lighter fuzzy bass in in some of the lo-fi songs I've heard. That's what I've like analyzed the way it sounds to me to my ears. It's kind of like a just a light fuzz, a light warm fuzz. Kind of like the soothing fuzz if you're doing a I guess a higher end type of like melody, just you know, just playing around, fiddling with it. However, though, so I don't want to do a. I want to create a new track, and to do that, Shift Command in, and then you can hold down Command and hit right arrow to switch quickly between like the stereo and mono section here. And then to switch between these is command and like down, up and down arrow. So right and left is for the first ones, and then up and down for the audio, aux, master. And then you can go up and create the routing folders, which is a whole other. That was super fun to like learn because once I learned how to do the routing folders, it helped with organization so much. And then you can create a template with it, and with that template, yeah, speeds up the process so much, especially if you're wanting to get right into a session right off the bat. And like, for instance, a lot of my startup sessions will have, I have it set up to where it was like 3 or 4 routing folders with an instrument track in each one. So like that way I can decide which instrument right off the bat, or fiddle right off the bat with whatever instrument I want to use, pad, excuse me, drums, stuff like that. Golly. I'm gonna have to check out like the octave fuzz because flanger, that one it's pretty. I played with flanger before. It's pretty fun with pads, especially if and when you say wah, I think of the wah 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 wah, like the wah wahs. uh, an auto wah, yeah. See, I think that could the auto wah could be also a light fuzz sound that I hear too. Now that you say Ottawa, because I'm trying to picture or hear a bass in my head doing it. All right, so uh, for instance, I didn't make my routing folder. So with the routing folder, you could take the reverb or the aux tracks, drag them down to it, and it puts it inside of it like that. Then you hold down shift and click on both of them, and then you can choose whatever color. I'll make it, do I have yellow? No, we'll go yellow. All right, and then you'll want to make, so the output, you'll want to make the output the submaster if you have it set up this way, because so that way once you have the reverb track set to aux sub, let me find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so reverb track goes to aux sub, and then down the aux sub goes to submaster, and then the submaster goes to the main master. Which is something else that took me a little bit to learn how to do that with the routing, especially the learning how to do the inputs and outputs. Like, oh, what was it? Last week, I was going to do something with a shaker. Like, I was going to record a shaker, and I basically had a user error moment because first, like, I switched over the playback engine correctly and everything to the Scarlett microphone here, or not the Scarlett, but the Scarlett interface, so that way I could use the microphone. Well, whenever I did, I forgot to change the input down here back over to input 1, because it was originally like it said no input, and it popped up an error, and it kept popping it up, and I literally like had a user mental error, and I was like, you know what, whatever, and like completely scratched the shaker idea until I ended up figuring it out right after like I ended the stream, because I was like, what was it doing? I was like, oh, I see. And so the next stream, I ended up like at the end of the stream going in and like finishing the shaker, so that way I could like apply it to the track that I ended up writing to this last Wednesday. So yeah, especially like when messing with a whole bunch of instrumental or like the individual tracks, like I don't want to say like this because this is sound effects, so I have everything, it's pretty simple, self-explanatory for just being jumbled everywhere, or at least to me, it's my jumbled madness. However, though, I got too into how many instrumental tracks I was going through at the time, and then I believe I was like in the middle of doing processing and then trying to make sure the luffs were good and the peaks and everything were good, and it just kind of, I'm pretty sure I hit like the brain was like, hey man, you've been working hard, for like the past hour and a half. You need to kind of like, because that sometimes when I get super in flow with it, oh, I appreciate that. Like, yeah, like I'll get like super in flow with it, and when I do, I don't have nobody around here to pull me out of it. And so I have to remember to pull myself out. If not, I start to like get too into it and then like, get jumbled roughly. Like the brain will let you know when you've been like hyper focusing too hard on something. I'll let you check out something I thought was cool whenever I see here. Was it these three? renew these two. Oh, all right. I appreciate it. Uh, Tomorrow I'll be back on 8 p.m. Central Time. Roughly with that stream, I'm gonna be either going back through the other instrumental and kind of just playing around with it, working on its processing. So feel free to stop by. I appreciate the sub or the follow. So take it easy. Excuse me. I didn't even get around to the reverb. Check this out. It does sound pretty cool. Oh, I'm very curious now. Wait a minute. You. Have to. African sub. Shout out Lloyd for the reverb idea. Lloyd the legend. Sound like that. picture. I haven't even watched all those episodes, but I pictured that Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme. So I came in blasting. Oh, no, don't need that. What was I thinking? Just picture like a bubble gun. Oh, that's cool. I think I found my new thing. Oh my god. Okay, so first, before I get ahead of myself. Uh, yeah. It's two channels at a time. It's like such a wet shot. Like it's like if water formed a gun and decided to shoot. Oh. Alright. Let's see what else we could do. So I guess we'll duplicate again. Put these. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, not reverb. Delay. Oh wait, is that how I can? Oh, oh wait. Check. Okay, yeah. All right. Two at a time. Gotcha. Never mind. Mono mode. You. So. I love that. That's pretty cool too. Oh, come on. Okay. Multi stereo. So it's crazy how the waveform changed. Let's see this. wait, that's the comb. It's like, what? Alright, so now I could. Before I do that, though, I do want to. Which bubbly is that? It's more boingy. Boing, 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 boing. It's like a mechanical. Went from watery to mechanical in my head. Alright, so let's see here. Boing, boing, boing. No, I don't need to import it. Oh, glad I left a comment there for myself. It's like, what? We'll say unprocessed. What I mean by unprocessed is no like EQ compression. It's just I alter it and I save it. You know what's crazy is I feel like I've heard that somewhere in a video game. But like an old video game. It's like when you collect something and it like levels it up. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Note to self, those are muted. Because I know later I'll probably go to listen to it and be like, why am I not hearing it even though the track's unmuted? I need to make sure the routing folder's unmuted too. Well, no, I can make that one reverb. Yeah, bounced. So, or delay. Reverbed. That's all. It's like a misspelled riverbed. Let's do that. Reverb. Boing. Delay. Reverb. Yeah. It's. Oh, that's. Well, no. Because I didn't trim the silence in any of this. So. that sounds like reverbed. Boing, 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 reverb. I'll take it. You go down there. You. Next. Wait, are they different reverb? No, different reverbs. Faders, though, bubbles. Okay, so. I will do that, though. I almost got those lined up right up. Well, I mean, give or take a little bit. It's alright though. Boing, boing, boing. These are some ridiculously long. Oh my god. Okay, so. Combined. Combo. It's whatever. So now. Nerf. Nerg. Oop. Let's see here. You're all bundled together like a group photo now. There. Ta-da. That has a nice reverb to it. It's like up in here. So that one is different than the others. It's a lot of Nerf gun stuff. Let me see here. Excuse me. Wait a minute. What's happening? Oh. Excuse me. Yeah, it's mono. Voila. Okay. It's like some of those, the stereo ones were splitting things up. Okay. Now, that would be a lot of reverb, so I'm not gonna do all of them like that. This. Who liked the second part? That part. So this is gonna need to line up. Because it's gonna take two. It's trippy the way it goes, you know, like when the mono and then output mode. So if you was to, the way it sounds is like if you was to take a Nerf gun and when you shoot it, it's like video game animations come out instead. But like do 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 do. We'll do that. I like that. Oh, see, that's cool. I love that. That's such a cool waveform. Okay. going. Sounds like the door stoppers on the walls. I mean, I don't have them on here, but at like most apartments or whatever, it's like don't drill in. I'll do that. Now, what if I could do it again though? Let's see. Don't need it. I like that though. And they're each individual. So it's like, I like that. Okay. However, this is the main one I wanted to play with. Well, one of them. They all ended up being fun messing around. Oh, I'm gonna have to. That's okay. So. YouTube shall render. Alright. Welcome to my trippy Nerf gun collection. Cynical sneakers. Cynical sneakers, Batman. He must be a villain. I'm gonna take a break for a second and get a snack. I brought drinks but no snack, so I shall be right back.